Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into a couple of battles on my main account using my typical deck, Giant Skeleton and 3 Musketeers, and some of these matches ended up being absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and start off with the Giant Skeleton in the back. He's going to play a Hogrider to test if I have my cannon. Fortunately, I did. I actually played it one tile too far up. If I played it one tile back, I could have had both towers hitting on that Hogrider, so didn't really work out. I ended up taking at least one hit of damage on my left-hand tower. And as he zaps my Spear Goblins, I decided to use my free spell on both the Ice Wizard and the tower, but for some reason, my Giant Skeleton retargeted to the skeletons, which let the cannon get a bunch of damage on him, and because of that, I absolutely wasted my free spell, and due to that, I actually didn't have enough elixir. I couldn't cycle fast enough to get back to my cannon, so he ended up doing an insane amount of damage with that Hogrider, leaving our tower at only 1304 HP, so not very good. However, he hasn't seen my 3 Musketeers just yet. I've sort of just been holding those in my bag. Let's go ahead and see when we want to play those, and as the mini P.E.K.K.A. rumbles down the lane, can easily counter that with the Giant Skeleton. Now notice I didn't play the cannon. If I had played the cannon, then the next time he had the Hogrider, he could just drop that down the lane and instantly take me out. So Giant Skeleton did a great job, took out 7 elixir worth of troops with the tower's helps. He ended up using the zap to try to knock out those Spear Goblins, so we're going to use the Goblins to follow up. Again, I'm trying to do another free spell, but things haven't been going too hot. He's going to cycle through, he's going to get the Ice Wizard out, and as our Goblins run towards that Ice Wizard, they're going to get him low, but again, no luck getting to the tower. So I think we're going to have to rely on our 3 Musketeers and our Valkyrie to try to make this happen throughout this battle. Okay, so he's going to have an Ice Wizard going. That's also going to sort of meet up with this Hogrider against the cannon. Still was able to take it out with just our cannon and the Valkyrie. And as the Valkyrie goes down the lane, just going to wait for her to see what she does. He'll drop a mini P.E.K.K.A., pretty classic. And again, just have to be wary to see what he plays because he might follow up with a Hogrider or something else. Okay, so Giant Skeleton's going to go down now. That'll stop the mini P.E.K.K.A. in its tracks. He actually has an elixir collector, which he's showing off for the first time this battle, which means let's go in with our 3 Musketeers right now and show them off, seeing as we haven't played them just yet. Now, they've gone down. He actually dropped his cannon. The zap will get some good value, taking out a lot of our stuff. We're going to end up freezing right here, but that didn't work out so well because the mini P.E.K.K.A. got so many hits off against our 3 Musketeers that we didn't get the push we wanted, and we've also revealed what hand we had. Now, he plays Mirrored Hogrider. That is an extremely crazy move, and it actually works out pretty well. He takes our tower down to about 470 HP. It doesn't get that next hit off, which was so clutch. Let's go ahead and throw another Giant Skeleton in the front to help out with our Valkyrie. And this is the push that we have to go for. I'm going to drop our poison right on top of this cannon. That's going to slow down the attack speed of the mini P.E.K.K.A. He's going to play the Hogrider going for the win. The double Hogrider going for the win. Not very smart on his end. We can probably just freeze the Hogrider if we needed to. But the other Hogrider is going to the right-hand tower. So let's go ahead and freeze his crown tower as our Valkyrie is doing work. It's taking it out. I'm just sort of cycling through our troops right now. Poison's going to go on the left-hand tower. And with his mini P.E.K.K.A. as well as his Ice Wizard running down the lane, the cannon will stop them in their tracks, giving us a clutch comeback within the last 30 seconds and a 1 to crown 0 to victory for only about 18 trophies for this battle. So that one looked pretty bleak towards the end, but luckily we were able to get our Valkyrie to the tower, as well as paired with that clutch free spell to get it down low enough for the poison spell. Let's go ahead and hop into another one against someone from H2O and see how this one plays out. Now again, looking at my starting cards, I always like to start with the Valkyrie, 3 Musketeers, or Giant Skeleton. In this case, we didn't really have a choice. So Valkyrie goes down, and when he plays that cannon in the front, I'm sort of assuming that a mortar's coming out, so I did a really weird play right here. I decided that I would put my cannon in front of his cannon when I go on my offensive push. That was actually really silly. He plays his zap spell a little bit too late. This is a little bit of a cluster of a battle right now, but still, we actually have the advantage, seeing as our Spear Goblins did a pretty good job on that right-hand tower. But let's see what he's going to do next. A lot of people, when they run these decks, they have the Princess as well as the Minion Horde. Those are pretty common because people use their arrows on one or the other. And as our Valkyrie goes down, there goes the Minion Horde that we were worried about. The Minion Horde's going to take out our Valkyrie in a second. And seeing as our 3 Musketeers aren't up, we're actually just going to play our Giant Skeleton and hope that it's able to tank everything we need. and it's going to be a little bit close. With that right tower occupied with the minions, that means we have less stuff to help out on the left, and with a really nice zap spell, he actually predicted the goblins that were going down. He ended up taking our tower all the way down to 180 HP, and yeah, that was just really well played on his end. He predicted my goblin drop, something that a lot of people using this Hogrider strategy do, so got to keep that in mind. Maybe I should have played them a little bit on top of the Hogrider rather than directly, underneath him, but still, things definitely aren't out of sight. I'm going to poison this princess. I know that I have to have my spear goblins and 3 musketeers up now because the minion horde is about to go absolutely crazy, but at this point, I'm looking at the left-hand side, and I'm assuming that it's pretty much just done. I don't think there's really too much I can do. And so that means I have to take from the right-hand side, and as he makes a giant push down the right with his Hogrider as well as the minions, he's going to play a lightning spell, and at this point, things are just looking so bad inside of this battle. He has a counter for everything we have. He has the minion horde as well as the princess, which we obviously can only use the poison spell on one. He has the lightning spell for our 3 musketeers. Things just really aren't good, and we're gonna have to climb back to have even any chance of this battle, seeing as now I know that he has the lightning spell. He can just lightning our left-hand tower, and that's pretty much gonna give him a free win. Now, of course, I could drop goblins to try to save this tower, but I think it's pretty much over anyways, so I just let those goblins go through. I know if this push doesn't happen, then nothing's gonna happen, so assuming that the lightning's coming out, I played my 3 musketeers, but take a look, the giant skeleton's running towards the tower, and he actually didn't end up hitting my goblins with the zap spell, so the goblins are fully attacking that tower, and yeah, we actually sent this game to overtime using that push, and rather than go to the left-hand side, let's just go for 3 crowns, because we have the poison on the princess, taking her out. We've got the giant bomb going off against the tower. I know that the minion horde's probably coming, so as soon as that goes down, instead of freezing the tower, I'm going to freeze the minion horde, and take a look at our Valkyrie on that king tower. This game got flipped on its head in like 30 seconds from pretty much a guaranteed loss to a 3-crown victory just like that. And that was pretty awesome stuff to see, and I didn't really think I was going to win that battle. I was really frustrated. I sort of just assumed it was over. Maybe would have been worthy of just swiping up and deleting it, but luckily we were able to get our giant skeleton in range of the tower to tank the damage, and then the goblins. I mean, the goblins just mowed down that tower, which was pretty nuts to see. I didn't really expect that to happen. It was sort of like when people play the giant skeleton and the goblin barrel, and they just wait for the tower to get onto the giant skeleton, and then they throw a goblin barrel over the top. That's pretty much what we did, except we didn't use a barrel. So good stuff. Here we go into the next battle against Mike Sai. I'm gonna go ahead and poison the tower, the elixir collector, as well as the spear goblins, getting pretty good value out of that. Looks like he's going to drop a mini P.E.K.K.A. As we drop our goblins, the arrows are going to come down, so a little bit unfortunate right there. If we had just waited a second longer, we probably would have done a lot better and gotten a little bit more damage down, but still, I think we're okay. Valkyrie actually gets one last spin off on that elixir collector to guarantee that it doesn't get any value, and as another elixir collector goes down, it's time to probably whip out our 3 musketeers in just a second. So let's go ahead and drop those right here. You're going to see that 2 are going to the left, 3 are going to the right. I actually think the 3 musketeers is usually a pretty poor card when you play them all 3 together, but when you can split them like this, you guarantee that you get at least a little bit of value most of the time if someone has a rocket or a lightning spell. So here we go, musketeers on the left. We've got the Valkyrie as well as the musketeers on the right, and take a look at this. His Valkyrie was way too far back, and I mean way too far back, to where it doesn't really have that much of an effect. And as we push on the left-hand tower, we're getting some good shots with our musketeer. Our spear goblins are going crazy as well, and his mini P.E.K.K.A. only gets a single shot off on the cannon, so it will be able to help out with this one spear goblin right here. And we're just slowly whittling him down throughout this battle. This one's looking pretty, I guess, textbook so far. We can play another giant skeleton in the back. He's really not mixing it up. He plays the same thing over and over with the elixir collector followed up by some defense, and he drops a good game because I guess he assumes this one is over, seeing as he hasn't been able to do too much against my deck. And now that we've reached double time, or double elixir time, that means it's time for a 3 musketeer push with our giant skeleton, as well as a Valkyrie and a musketeer probably on the other side. We'll have to see what happens. I'm actually going to poison both the mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Valkyrie, and now that I've poisoned them, the troops are going to be moving so slow that they should run into the giant skeleton's bomb. So take a look. Valkyrie's going to be moving slow. She's going to get exploded. We froze the right-hand lane, so our musketeer on the right-hand lane is going crazy as well. We're simply attacking him from too many sides, and seeing as we still have 2 of our 3 musketeers up on the left-hand side, this one is as good as over. And yeah, that will pretty much do it for this battle. At this point, he's given up, honestly. I don't think there's too much more point in playing, so he's just going to let my musketeers, my goblins go crazy on his tower. Good game to Mike Sai, and that is going to wrap it up for all 3 battles inside of this video. This one obviously not as close as the other 2, but the first 2 were insanely clutch comebacks towards the end, and it's been pretty fun trophy pushing along the way. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a like. If you have a clutch battle, if you guys want to share with me, whether on Twitter or in the comment section below, feel free to do that. And that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.